steals and 15 blocks in a 10-game span, and they did it in their first 10 games together. The Lakers are now 9-2 with Doncic. Is it time for the West to truly worry? I'm Andrew Bogish.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
One, two.
No. We tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes. Our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first. Because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your home for U of A football.
Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Arizona.
Men's basketball.
Midcourt. Shot is up. Good.
And baseball.
Here comes the winning run. And the Cats have won it.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Truck Month at Oro Ford, and the savings are huge. Get $11,000 off MSRP on new 24 Ford F-150s. Or take $13,000 off MSRP on a new 25 Ford Expedition. Want adventure? Drive home a new 24 Ford Bronco with $6,000 off.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live for a second straight day from the Cologuard Classic here at the La Paloma Country Club. I am David Kelly, joined out here today by the legendary Dragon Ball, who, Dragon Ball never saw a golf course he didn't like. He likes to rip them up. That's for sure.
As much as I've been running back and forth on the grass, they're going to tell me I can't do it no more.
It is a little bit chillier than it was out here yesterday. So, we got the hats on, the winter hats on, trying to stay warm over here. It's probably, I would say, low 50s right now, and the temperature, the sun has gone in as the cloud cover has come over. It was a little bit warmer when we first got here today, but definitely with the cloud cover and the sun gone now, it has cooled down into the low 50s. Temperature's probably going to be dropping into the high 40s a little bit later tonight, but it is expected to make that jump back up tomorrow and Sunday once this whole system clears out of here. And so we're looking forward to an exciting weekend of golf out here for this fabulous tournament that we are fortunate to be able to host out here every single year. Dragon Ball, this is obviously the first time we've had a chance to do a show out here. Have you had a chance to come out to the Cologuard in the past?
Never been able to have the chance to go out to the Cologuard in the past. This will be my first time experiencing this event. Been to La Paloma a couple times for a couple other different events. Although, if I remember correctly, a couple of those were further a little bit up the way. I think I'm probably getting my locations mixed up here. But, again, been to La Paloma at least once or twice in the past, and definitely is a course that I would like to frequent a little more often, maybe even do a couple practice rounds. But needless to say, I would love to go ahead and get a couple shots off here and there.
Oh, you got to play this course. This is one of the most beautiful courses, I think, in southern Arizona. I've had a chance. I've always said my favorite course is Star Pass, but this would probably be a real close second. I've only played it once, so I'd love the opportunity to maybe get a chance to play it again. But it is a fine, fine course, that is for sure, and one that is in its second season here at La Paloma hosting this fabulous tournament, the Kohler Guard Classic. Play did get underway on time this morning, so that is a positive thing here in terms of this event. I don't know if you just before I left the house today, I mean, it started raining probably about, I would say probably right around 8:30, 8:45. It started to rain really hard up here in the foothills. I literally live right down the street, and the wind just picked up, and I think one of the TV stations was out here doing a morning show, and you could just see stuff starting to blow around. The young man who was out here this morning that was covering it kind of categorized it as a mini disaster. I was like, I don't know if it's that bad, but yeah, it got we had a few things blowing around here earlier this morning, and but the rain cleared out pretty quickly. The golf folks had said that they thought that it would clear out by no later than noon, and it probably actually cleared out a lot sooner than that. I think it was pretty much done raining about 10:30 this morning, which is right about the time that tee-offs were supposed to take place out here. So things are moving along very well. We are actually located right off the 18th green. I'm sorry, the 18th green, yeah, here at La Paloma Country Club. We are also kind of near the Patriots outpost here, which I believe is the 15th hole, if I'm not mistaken, over there as well. So we've got a pretty good view here of the 18th fairway as these guys have to hit it over a little bit of a desert decline there. That's
well, they have to hit it over the event logo that's right there in the middle of that breaks up the fairway from the green. So definitely one of those. It's not a water hazard, but I definitely would hate to have to go ahead and hit a shot over the L, because I'm probably going to end up hitting and turn that thing into an I if I'm not careful.
No question about that. So far, the leaders, at least the two leaders, are still on the course. The three leaders now are still on the course as we speak. And make sure I have these names. Greg Chalmers is one of the leaders right now at -5. Tim O'Neill is also at -5. Greg Chalmers right now is playing 17, so he'll be coming up here pretty quickly. Hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe get a chance to talk to him, hear from him a little bit later. Tim O'Neill is also at -5, and Retief Goosen is at -5. He's a little bit further back. He's playing 13 right now. So those are your three leaders currently at -5 here through round one. Rod Pampling is at -4. Steve Ames at -4, along with Potter Carrington, who we heard from yesterday. He's at -4, currently on 12. And then you've got Bernard Longer, who missed the tournament last year due to his injury. He's at -3, along with Jason Caron and Stuart Sink and Ted Purdy. Ted Purdy we had a chance to talk to yesterday, the Arizona Wildcats grad, and Stuart Sink, who had a chance to win this tournament last year, but unfortunately fell apart down the stretch of that event a year ago. And so a few others that are on the leaderboard right now as we kind of look down here. Miguel Angel Jimenez, who has won, is tied for 60th right now at +2. The high score at the moment is Tom Pernice Jr., and he is still on the course at number 17. He is +6. So, Dragon Ball, considering the weather is not that great for this first day, the scores, for the most part, I'd say the majority of the field, you look at probably the first 35 guys, really the first 46 players in the event are even or under par.
I mean, it's been a pretty good field so far. And like you said, there was a lot of concern about whether or not they were going to be able to start on time or not. And it's still a little, again, we say it's clear in the sense that there's no rain from the sky, but it's still very cloudy above us. And the wind is still pretty, it's gone back and forth between pretty gusty and then being absolutely dead. And that's the worst case for a golfer, because sometimes you want that wind to be consistent. That way you know what you're fighting against. But the worst thing that have happened is when you get in the middle of your drive and then the gust hits you in the middle of your apex of that hit, and you're just watching it go off to the left, knowing that's not where I wanted that to go.
Yeah, it looked like there was some rain maybe in the distance, but fortunately right here at the moment we are staying dry. Sabino grad Willie Wood currently tied for 22nd. He is playing number 11, so it just hit the turn. He is -1 on the tournament. Ernie Els is tied for 11th currently. He is at -2. And let's see if we can figure out where Jerry Kelly is. Jerry Kelly currently at +1. He is playing 13, the official host of this tournament, Jerry Kelly. He is tied for 47th. He has never won the event. Billy Mayfair, a former champion here, also +2 currently. Corey Pavin at +2. Those are just a few of the numbers of guys that are playing in this field here this weekend. Again, the leaders right now are at -5, and we will keep an eye on that for you as well. Dragon Ball and I are here. We've got JW Madden back in studio. JW, welcome to the show. How are you doing today? How are things back in the CNWT? Is it still dry there?
I'm fine, but my mic's not working great, so I'd rather hear Dragon Ball pretend like he knows a lot about golf. So you guys just keep at it.
I got you. I got you covered.
All right. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. We've got a number of folks that we're going to hear from today. Michael Lev is going to join us from the Arizona Daily Star. We're going to chat with Anthony Del Orso from the Arizona men's basketball team today. The Wildcats will be playing at Kansas tomorrow, so we'll get a chance to hear from Anthony on his first season here playing in Tucson for the U of A. Also, we're going to chat with Henry Greenstein. He is from the Lawrence Journal-World. He covers the Kansas Jayhawks, and we'll get his thoughts on a team that has struggled, obviously, through this first season in this new Big 12 that makes up of 16 teams. They were a club that was supposed to be near the top. If not, then, of course, they were the preseason number 1, but have had some tough times getting all of their transfers to meld and currently are struggling to find what they need to do to be successful. But they apparently have a huge winning streak at home on Senior Day. So we'll hear from Henry Greenstein about that. It is DK on the Sports Tip. Once again, we are coming to you live. You see the Santa Catalina Mountains behind us. We're just off the 18th hole. Stop on by and say hello. Talk to us about some golf, what you've seen out here today. Much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Navy Federal Credit Union is offering a 0% intro APR on credit card balance transfers for 12 months and get $250 when you spend $2,500 in your first 90 days on a Cash Rewards or Cash Rewards Plus credit card. Visit NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. After the intro rate expires, variable APRs are 15.15% to 18% based on credit worthiness. Rates are subject to change. ATM fees for cash advances are up to $1 at 9 Navy Federal ATMs.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is so simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit for just playing, guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, do not miss Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts right now. Save $20 on a Power Torque 248-piece mechanics tool set. O Rewards members get a $5 reward. Power Torque professional hand tools come with a lifetime guarantee. Save on hand tools, power tools, and more. Talk with the professional parts people about the tools you need at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
Like heat and air, we're in a state of disrepair.
It's still free furnace season. For a limited time until the last day of winter, you can get a free furnace with the purchase and installation of a qualifying HVAC system. Now is the time to start planning for the long, hot Tucson summer. Hurry, the deal won't last long. For fast, reliable, and honest service, call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturerockspooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Speedway in Alvernon reports of traffic signals malfunctioning. Alvernon and Speedway. Fantano Road south of 22nd Street, a collision. Some backups westbound Grant at I-10 and also on West Mile at Flowing Wells. 25% chance of rain into this evening. 42 the overnight low. Sunny 63 tomorrow. 75 on Sunday. 55 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song. Get your max tax refund guaranteed, and new customers get $100 to switch. Don't miss the boat. Book an appointment with experts today. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. Round 1 of the Cologuard Classic taking place out here at the La Paloma Country Club. And we are pleased to be joined by Michael Lev. He writes all things, columnist over at the Arizona Daily Star. And Michael, I would imagine this is the first time I've been at this event at this venue. I missed last year's event. Being over in Las Vegas with the women's basketball team. Were you here last year, and what did you think of the change from Omni here to La Paloma?
Yeah, I actually missed the tournament last year, too. I had a wedding out of town. I covered the event over at Omni Tucson National, I think every year since 2015. So since 2016, I should say. So every year but one. The first year was 2015. Very different type of golf course. Omni Tucson National, more traditional. It's flatter. It's more walkable. I have heard the term desert golf out here a bunch, right? This is what people are talking about when they're talking about desert golf. It really favors those who can hit the ball in the fairway, because if you don't hit the ball in the fairway, you're going to be in the desert.
Oh, yeah.
And that's trouble. So definitely a different experience, different spectator experience, too. This is not a very easy course to walk.
Right.
So I think, you're probably better off if you're coming out here to set up at a certain hole. They've got a lot of like grandstands and stadium style seating here where you can just kind of hang out at a certain hole and watch the players hit their approach shots into greens.
So what are you out here covering this week? Is there a particular story or an angle that you're looking at for this this tournament this week?
No, I mean I did a column on Joe Durant, the defending champion, coming into the event. Joe has had, like many out here on this tour, has had an interesting golf life. At one point in time, he quit the game. He was age 27. He was struggling, just didn't want to do it anymore. He worked at a warehouse in Florida, just like stacking boxes and being a gopher. And it gave him really good perspective, there are a lot of worse things you can do than play golf. Even if you're struggling at it a little bit, he came back. Eventually he did pretty well. I think he won 4 times on the PGA Tour. He won twice in a 3-week span. He set a record at what was then called the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Shot 36 under for 90 holes. There are and that was the lowest total ever for a 90-hole event.
Wow.
And there are no more 90-hole events, so I think that record is gonna last for a while. And then he won again 2 weeks later. He was leading the tour in earnings at that point in time. So he ended up making, I think, $14 million over the course of his PGA Tour career, and then another $10 million or so out here on the Champions Tour. But otherwise, my colleague Justin Spears and I are just kind of roaming around looking for any interesting storyline that we can find. We talked to Patty Harrington yesterday, and he's very entertaining, very funny, and someone who, these conditions are really not anything new for him, right? Being from Ireland.
Yeah.
He's played in the cold, he's played in the rain, and it's pretty chilly out here today if you haven't been out. I'm sure people have been out and about and they know, but it is cold.
It is. Michael Lev joining us from the Arizona Daily Star.
Mm-hmm. And the wind is starting to pick up again a little bit, and I was just talking with DK about how the worst thing you can have happen if you're a golfer is to have that wind kind of pick up in the middle of your swing, because you're thinking it's going to go straight, and then all of a sudden the gust hits right at the peak of your swing, and you're just thinking, well, now that's going to go out and start playing some desert golf like you mentioned there, Mike.
Yeah, it's always the wind. And kicker, it's the same way with kickers. I think kickers can handle if it's raining or even if it's snowing, if the footing is decent enough, but the wind is a difficult one to handle. So I don't think the scores today are going to be as low as maybe they were last year because of the conditions.
Michael Lev joining us from the Arizona Daily Star, columnist. You mentioned like records and that kind of thing, and we were talking with Ted Purdy yesterday, Arizona Wildcat grad. His lone win on the tour came at the Byron Nelson Classic back about 20 years ago, and he was talking about, he'd finished and there was guys still playing behind him, so he had to wait to find out if he was going to win, and he was sitting next to Lord Byron, and it got us thinking. It's like he was like Lord Byron apparently told him, you didn't have a single bogey today, and he was like, I don't think I ever did that. And he was like, yeah, but Lord Byron, you won 11 times in a row. And we're thinking about that's probably a record that'll never be broken. A guy that can come on any tour, well, whether it's the Champions Tour or the PGA Tour,
afternoons,
and win 11 consecutive tournaments.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you why. It's because the competition is so much greater now. Even when Tiger came up, which, 30 years ago or so, there were not as many good players as there are now on the PGA Tour. And I think he inspired that generation to an extent. But it is super tough to win these days. It's super tough to string a bunch of wins together these days. When you go into a given tournament or a major, I just think like the pool of players who could win is much larger than it's ever been.
Yeah, and I think that's why what Scotty Scheffler's done over the last couple of years has been so impressive, because he's been able to win 5-6 times annually, which is so difficult to do. Michael covers everything, obviously. We've the women's basketball teams had a short run in Kansas City. A lot of speculation on what the future is going to be for the women's basketball program. I think a lot of it is crazy. I don't understand. And we talked about this, I think, the last time I had you on, about you'd written the column about Adia not having a contract, potentially going into next year, and they've got to figure that out. I don't think that Desiree Reed-Francois can allow that to happen. But they're bowl eligible. They're tournament eligible for a 7th consecutive year. And that she's rivaling the best coach in program history, was the coach she played for, Joan Bonvincini. I don't see where a lot of that is coming from, where people that don't believe that Adia Barnes can get it done here anymore.
I think that Adia is a victim of the standards that she has set. She raised the bar so high with that run that they had in the late 2010s, early 2020s. With Ari McDonald and Sam Thomas and that group going all the way to the final game, coming within a shot of winning the national championship. Arizona had never done anything like that before and hasn't done anything like that since. It is difficult to sustain that level of success when you don't maybe have the financial support that certain other programs have across the country. I think that things are going to come to a head here in the next few weeks. You cannot go into the final season of a contract as a lame duck in this day and age. I know what happened with Marshall football this past year with Charles Huff. That was a whole weird situation. I don't really know what the background of that was, but obviously he's not there anymore. I think he's at Southern Miss now. But I don't see how Adia can go into this last season without a new deal. So either she gets a new deal or the two sides decide that they're going to part ways and go in a different direction.
Yeah, and I think it's the other thing that's we're entering into is I think we're entering into, and we talked about this last week. You're going to see a lot of transition. You're already starting to see transition, and I think before Adia would lose players, but they weren't players that would go on and do much of anything anywhere else. We've already seen that that's no longer the case. I mean, you lose a Maddie Connor, she goes to TCU and has a ton of success. You lose an Erin Advanale, she goes to Colorado, and now she's at Baylor having a ton of success. And I think that has bent people the wrong way as well, but that is just going to be the nature of the beast. And I think we're going to have to find out what women's basketball means to this community, to this school, because I think in the past you would have said, if you were looking at the female pecking order, softball would have been at the top because of all the national championships. But I think when you're talking about revenue, I think women's basketball right now is there just based on the fact that she's putting 7,000 people into that building every night, which had never happened. That's way more revenue. I mean, nothing against what's happening in softball, but that's way more revenue than they're bringing in over there. So a decision's going to have to be made about how much money we want to put into that particular program.
Yeah, it is a great point. As you said, they average, 7,000, 8,000 fans per game. I believe that's the third most of any sport at Arizona, right? Football being number one and men's basketball being number two. Baseball's average is maybe 3,000, 4,000 range, somewhere in there. I don't even know if the capacity at Hillenbrand is that large. So women's basketball has ascended to that spot as the number 3 school in terms of attendance. But is it going to get the percentage of revenue sharing that's commensurate with the attendance? And my understanding, this is unofficial, this is just what I've heard, is that figure is going to be at around 2% of the $20.5 million, which comes in around $400,000, and it could be as high as 5%, which is $1 million, and that's a huge difference for women's basketball when you're talking about a handful of players that you need to excel as a program, right? Like a difference of $600,000 is significant. That's maybe 3 or 4 rotation players of a high caliber. So, I am interested to see what the investment is going to be in from the top in this women's basketball program, whether Adia Barnes is coaching the team or somebody else is, because, she's elevated the program to a point where it feels like it deserves a good, strong investment.
Michael Lev from the Arizona Daily Star. Men's basketball taking on Kansas, final regular season game of the season. Big 12 tournament, NCAA tournament to come. If this team goes to the Final Four, becomes that first team since 2001, why will that be in Michael Lev's eyes?
Well, I would say a couple things. Number one, aside from the last few games, this has been a good defensive team. Okay? I know people are very upset with the way they played against BYU. They're very upset with the way they played against ASU. I think a little bit of that is like late season doldrums. I think a little bit of that, especially in BYU's case, is that BYU's just really good. And when they get hot from the outside, they beat Kansas by like 40 points. Yeah. I've heard people say that this is a team that could win the Big 12 tournament, that could go to the Final Four. So BYU is legit. I think the ASU game, I don't know how seriously the Wildcats took that game, even though it's their rival and there was so much emotion the last time. You look at the record, you look at the fact that they had only 6 or 7 guys. I don't think they had their full attention. Okay, so I think we're going to see elevated defensive play like we saw earlier in the season, and defense travels. So that's one reason I think they could go to the Final Four. The other reason is maybe Caleb Love gets on a hot streak, right? He's capable of it.
Yeah.
And if he gets on a hot streak for 3 weeks, I think they could go as far as anybody. He's a huge X factor. He's obviously an enigmatic player. He's up and down. He's hot and cold. It's just a matter of which Caleb Love you're going to get, and we have no idea right now until it happens. But if he gets off to a good start in the tournament, I think that's something that could carry through. For all you need is for 6 games.
Yeah,
right?
6 games. That's it. Michael Lev from the Arizona Daily Star. You can follow him at Michael J. Lev on Twitter, and the J stands for?
Jason.
Michael Jason Lev. I like it. He's a Cubs fan. I don't know if I like that part. Michael, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Michael Lev from the Arizona Daily Star. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's Truck Month at Oro Ford, and the savings are huge. Get $11,000 off MSRP on new 24 Ford F-150s. Or take $13,000 off MSRP on a new 25 Ford Expedition.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're coming to you live from the La Paloma Country Club. It is the Cologuard Classic, the first round of this event, which has called Tucson home now since, I believe, 2000. I have to pull it up again. I believe 2015 was when this event in its current form began as the Tucson Conquistadors Classic, and it has been the Cologuard Classic now for going on about 8 years as it played the first three. Let's look it up for sure so we know exactly the information that we are giving to you. It began in 2015, so this would make it event number 11. I would think, if my math is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So 3 years as the Tucson Conquistadors Classic at the old Omni Tucson National, 15, 16, 17. It became Cologuard in the 2018 year, and it has been Cologuard ever since for the last 7 events. This is the 8th year it has been the Cologuard Classic. Joe Durant is the defending champion of this event. It has had a different winner every single year. We've never had a repeat winner here, although Joe Durant is currently tied for 10th in this first round. He is still on the course at number 14, playing the 14th hole right now. He is at -2, so that is where Joe Durant is. The leader is in the clubhouse currently. Greg Chalmers is the leader now at -7. So we have dispatched Dragon Ball over towards the clubhouse to see if we maybe can get a chance to hear from Greg Chalmers, who really closed strong down the stretch with 4 birdies in his final 6 holes. He had a total of 8 birdies and 1 bogey on the day, and he is sitting at 7 under as he shot a 64 for the first round here. Not bad, shooting a 64 in these colder conditions out here today for round 1. Greg Chalmers currently in the clubhouse with a 2-shot lead over Rod Pampling, who is also in the clubhouse. He is at -5. There is a trio of 3 golfers that includes Jason Caron is one in that group who is currently at -4. And tied for 3rd. We'll continue to update you on the standings.
4.
I'm sorry, 4.
4 golfers are tied at -4, DK, including one Ted Purdy who interviewed yesterday.
Oh, there you go. So
he's
Purdy
also at -4.
At last check was at -3, and he has gotten another birdie to put himself at -4. Man, that would be a story if Ted Purdy could win for the first time on this tour. Here, the Champions Tour, in his 2nd year being eligible to play on the Champions Tour. You must be 50 years old or older to play on this tour. And that is why we have seen a number of our most popular golfers who have played on it in recent years. Jim Furyk a few years ago, I believe that was 2 years ago now. Might have been the last year at Omni or maybe even 3 years back. That he played the event in his 50th year. We saw Phil Mickelson play the event in his 50th year. I believe both of those gentlemen, though, have only played that 1 year. They have not since played the event out here at Omni Tucson National. But Ted Purdy just turning 50 last year. So this is his 2nd year playing on the circuit and putting up a good showing so far. The Tucson resident and University of Arizona alum, 1996. We're going to hear from a few folks here coming up a little bit later. We'll go ahead and get the next break in, and then we'll come back, and you're going to hear from Austin Crawley, who is the executive director of this event with the Tucson Conquistadors. I'm sorry, Aaron Crawley, the executive director from the Tucson Conquistadors. Also, you will hear from Brian Godel from Exact Sciences. Exact Science is the actual, they are the ones that produce the Cologuard colorectal cancer test. And you'll hear from him Brian is a graduate, Pac-12 graduate from the University of Southern California, so we share that in common. I've had a chance to talk to Brian a number of times, and you'll also hear from Jerry Kelly, the host of this event annually, as they originally approached him when they first started about being the guy to be out front at this event. It's so much more than golf out here this weekend. This is one of those tournaments that's all about cancer awareness, colorectal cancer, making sure that folks understand how to be tested. We've got some folks watching from a balcony. We're actually facing some balconies here at the Westin Resort so that we can give you that backdrop that you're seeing with the Santa Catalina Mountains and the 18th hole here. And we've got some folks that are watching from their balcony. I don't know how much they can see from there, but still, if they were probably up on the third floor, because there's only 3 levels on the building, they might be able to see a little bit more. But they've got a pretty nice shot of the folks coming in playing the 18th hole right now out here at La Paloma Country Club. Let's get another break in. We'll come back. We'll let you hear from those folks I mentioned prior and update you again on the leaderboard. Again, we're here till 6 o'clock, 520-848-1290. We're going to hear from Anthony Del Orso of the Arizona Wildcats coming up. We'll hear from him in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, Henry Greenstein is scheduled to join us from the Lawrence Journal-World. He covers the Kansas Jayhawks. It's Arizona and Kansas tomorrow in Lawrence at the historic Fog Allen Fieldhouse. DK on the Sports Tip from La Paloma Country Club and the Cologuard Classic. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
Hey, golf guy, let me give you a piece of advice. Here is one thing you never, ever want to say. I never play this badly. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I birdied this hole yet.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are coming to you live from the Cologar Classic out here at Omni Tucson National and La Paloma. See, I've said that so many times that I've completely lost my train of thought on where we are. We're going to be joined by Ian Helm here. He is the tournament director. I think we've lost our video signal for the moment. We'll see if we can get that back for people as well. There you go, Ian. We'll hand you that right there.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome. And Ian is the tournament director. He's with the Tucson Conquistadors. And Ian, how long have you been a member of the Conquistadors?
So not a member, but I do work for them. I am employed by the Conquistadors.
Okay.
So myself, there's a few others of us in the office. So we just kind of help guide, direct, and help out where it's needed.
Nice. So how long have you been in this role with as the tournament director? I see you're Ohio University grad. You Ohio guy?
No, actually Michigan, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Born and raised in Michigan, and went down south there to Ohio for school, and traveled around for a couple of years there with the PGA Tour, and now I've been in Tucson since, it would have been January of 23.
Okay.
So about 2.5 years now I've been here with the Conquistadors.
Now, what brought you out here?
The Conquistadors.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always been in golf.
So they brought you out here to take over the running of this tournament?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Assist
nice.
Jeff Hill, our executive director.
Had you run golf tournaments before?
I had done operations, so I was on the PGA Tour level. And had managed operations for the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play in Austin,
Okay.
the same event that was here in Tucson, coincidentally enough,
Right.
for several years. So I was in Austin, Texas, running operations for that event, supporting a few others, the event in Memphis, President's Cup, and then came out here to do something a little bit differently, outside operations, but still working golf.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Second year at this venue here, La Paloma Country Club. How did the transition go last year, and then what are some of the things you guys were trying to do to make it better for year two?
Yeah, so anytime you go to a new venue, there's always things you figure out, and you try and plan as much as you can, and it looks good on paper, but you have folks start to come out on site, you see how people move around, and you learn things. So, it's not the easiest property to walk all 18 holes, but I think we've done a really good job of how we routed the golf course to try and make it as accessible as possible these last couple holes, especially 15 through 18. So, we were pretty strategic about how we laid out the hospitality venues. Again, we've got some on-course shuttles out on the property for folks that really do want to go walk all 18 holes. And then, again, last year we just made some small tweaks. I think we got a pretty good blueprint down last year and just made a couple small tweaks this year to try and, make it more accommodating for the general spectator. So we moved the hospitality venues back on 18, allowed a little bit more space for folks to get up close to the green there along the rope line. Try to clear some things out, make the cart pass a little bit wider. So just made a couple small tweaks to make it a little bit easier and more accessible.
Ian Helm is joining us. He is the tournament director here for the Tucson Conquistadors and the Cologar Classic. So we are right above 18 here, and we are also right near the Patriots Outpost. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is 15 here? Or
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is 15. Always a great place. The Patriots Outpost has been a staple at this event, even dating back to the years at Omni Tucson National. When you took over this event, what did they tell you about the importance of that particular location and how they wanted that to continue?
Yeah, no, and it's not just at this event, but every event. We always try and do our best to accommodate veterans, active military. I know when I moved here in Tucson, I didn't realize how big of a military presence this town had with Davis Monthan. So I know every year when we're looking for sponsors for that venue to make sure we can support it, that's always one of the first ones we always try. And I know our Conquistador membership, they always stress the importance of it too. This year we got pretty late in the game trying to find a sponsor for that venue, and a lot of them were like, we have to do it. There's not another option. So. No, we love to do it. I know we always get a great turnout from the military and active and retired here in this town, and it's a big piece of what we do this week.
How much of your job is directly with the golfers in terms of, taking care of all their needs here?
Not too much. Okay. They're pretty easygoing guys for the most part, believe it or not. No, a lot of what I do mostly, honestly, is the setup of the golf course and the sales, and making sure those two things are aligned, what we're doing operationally and what we're doing from a sales standpoint. And then, when I get on site, you get some requests here and there, and, I make sure that they're getting fed well this week. But aside from that, no, it's the tour makes it very easy. And, again, they do this week in and week out across the tour schedule. So for them, we're, another week of the year, and we try and make it as accommodating as possible for
Did
them.
you hear, though, was there any feedback from them about maybe anything that they wanted to see different, any like reconstruction of holes or changing the way a hole played or anything of that nature?
When they did come out here for their initial site visits, being a desert golf course, there were a couple things they wanted to see with the line of sight from tees and whatnot. And La Paloma Country Club in the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa here did a phenomenal job of taking some of those critiques and addressing them. I know Daniel Mayfield, the superintendent here, and his team did a ton of work clearing out some brush and debris, make it a little bit more visually appealing from the tee. So we did a great job there. I know they've cleared out a lot of rocks and boulders and tried to clear some room off the cart paths and the fairways to make it a little bit more accessible for these guys to play their ball when they do miss the fairway, which doesn't happen very often. But when they do, believe it or not, they don't like to be penalized too hard. So we try and play a fine line there. But it's been great here the last couple of years, and I know we got nothing but great feedback from the tour and the players last year. They were super, super pleased.
Ian Helm joining us, tournament director here, Cologuard Classic, Tucson Conquistadors. So you've lived here now 2 years. What do you think of what's your favorite thing about Southern Arizona?
No, well, I grew up in the Midwest, so it's not every day I get to wake up and see some mountains.
Right.
So no, it's a great way, driving to and from work every day, seeing them. So that's the biggest thing, and I do love the college town element to it. Growing up in Lansing, obviously it's Michigan State territory.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I've grown around a college town, but Tucson is really one of its own when it comes to that. So
spent a few minutes of my life in Grand Ledge back in the day. Yeah,
no kidding.
Long time ago.
Yeah, no kidding. I was born and raised, well, not born, but raised in DeWitt, so not too far from Grand Ledge at all.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you
small
go.
World.
Obviously, a little bit of rain this morning, some wind. I got up and I turned on the TV, and there was some havoc happening out here. What did you guys have to do to kind of make sure everything stayed on point for today?
Secure everything down as much as we can. No, I know we had some guys here late last night. I think we might have ran out of zip ties by about 9 p.m. But the forecast was looking spotty all throughout the week, so I know that was on our radars for quite a few days, and I think we handled it pretty well. So. A couple things we lost this morning, signage-wise and whatnot, but quick fixes. So
hopefully no big-time sponsors or anything like that.
No.
So now, in terms of some of the things we're seeing, like the Cologuard Classic sign there, that's in that little desert area there, coming up 18, is whose idea was that to have that in that particular location like that?
Yeah, so I know our title sponsor, Exact Sciences, being based in Madison, Wisconsin. The broadcast is something that's very important to them, and the national marketing this event gets. So I know coming here last year for the first year, it was a chance for us to kind of reset everything, rethink everything with them. So I know myself and Jeff Hill, our executive director, we work closely with Exact Sciences to kind of get some things from them of, hey, what would you like to see differently? And one thing that they said, coming into La Paloma was we'd love to get some cool, iconic pieces that really pop on the broadcast.
Yeah.
So I worked close with them and our signage company and came up with a couple of creative ideas, and that was one of them that stuck. The big scaffold wall here behind us with some branding to try and make it a little bit more visually appealing when you walk into the entrance. That was something new we added this year. Last year, again, we've also got some of the foam golf balls, a little CG, so some cool picture moments for fans. Those are all items that, I work closely with our title sponsor team on throughout the months leading up, and try and get creative and come up with some fun stuff for some folks on site.
Do you have a pick for the weekend on who's going to win this thing?
Oh, gosh. It's hard to say. I know Stuart Sink, being the young guy in the tour last year, was a lot of people's favorites, and it was looking like he was going to win a lot of the week last week.
Pressure got to him.
It might have. So I think he's looking for a little bit of revenge this week. So I like Stewart.
Outstanding. Well, Ian, hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Continued success with this outstanding event here at the La Paloma Country Club, and we look forward to things warming up tomorrow and Sunday, and somebody putting on the Conquistadors helmet and crowning another champion Sunday afternoon.
Likewise. Thank you for the time, David.
All right, Ian Helm, he is the tournament director here out at the Cologuard Classic. That's going to wrap up our first hour. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We're going to chat with Arizona guard Anthony Del Orso. The Wildcats get set to take on the Kansas Jayhawks tomorrow, plus more golfers. Dragon Ball went down and tracked down Greg Chalmers. He's currently the leader of the tournament at 7 under. We will hear from him coming up as well in hour number 2. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. And Dragon Ball is here now with your sports, everything happening in Southern Arizona and around the world.
The journey for the Arizona women's basketball team in the Big 12 tournament came to a close end last night as Colorado managed to go ahead and come back down 10 to knock out the Wildcats there in the second round of the Big 12 tournament. And when asked about her thoughts on the team's NCAA tournament credentials, Coach Adia Barnes seemed confident her team could still dance in the main floor here in March.
As of now, yes, but I'm hoping that we still have a chance. I don't think this was the deciding factor to make it to a tournament, but I think we could have put ourselves in a really good position. So I'm hoping that we still have done enough with our body of work to still get into the tournament, so we'll see. So hopefully no mid-major upsets right now, knock on wood.
Going into Friday's games, Arizona is currently listed as one of the first 4 out of this year's tournament on the women's side. For the Diamondbacks and their spring training slate, the team could be getting some big returns in their lineup, and both Corbin Carroll and Jordan Montgomery slated to return. Carroll's been out of the lineup for the past week due to lower back tightness, and while Montgomery is set to make his Cactus League debut against the Angels, depending on the rain out in Tempe this afternoon. And the early round of veteran cuts going on around the NFL, one such cut being former Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. The longtime commander was officially cut by the team following 8 years of work with Washington. After the two failed to find a trade partner going into the free agency period, Allen was entering the final year of his current contract worth $15.5 million after he torn his pectoral last injury before returning. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. At traffic signals malfunctioning, Speedway and Country Club, collision, Pantano Road south of 22nd Street. Traffic a little busy for traffic on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. 25% chance of rain into this evening, 42 the overnight low, sunny, 63 tomorrow and 75 on Sunday, 55 and cloudy now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Eat Lux your way with the new $5 Classic, $7 Supreme, and $9 Discovery Lux Craving Boxes from Taco Bell at participating stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
But again, Caleb Love now taking over the game.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
If you're suffering from back pain and your physician is giving you a back brace or a pain pill or an injection and not explain the process of what you have and how to rehabilitate yourself, then there might be something missing. I'm Tom Corey. I'm a physiatrist here at Desert Sky Spine and Pain. If you're looking to find the root cause of your pain, any pain that's limiting your function, limiting the things that you want to do in life, call us at 520-229-2080 or find us on the web at desertskymedicine.com.
Enjoy up to 70% off premium products, designer handbags, gift cards from national chains, autographed sports memorabilia, cruises, hotel accommodations, and more. SweetDeals.com. Click Premium.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Navy Federal Credit Union is offering a 0% intro APR on credit card balance transfers for 12 months and get $250 when you spend $2,500 in your first 90 days on a Cash Rewards or Cash Rewards Plus credit card. Visit NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. After the intro rate expires, variable APRs are 15.15% to 18% based on credit worthiness. Rates are subject to change. ATM fees for cash advances are up to $1 at 9 Navy Federal ATMs.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
We are your home for all things Arizona basketball. 3 hours of pregame. They're not going to finish the season 19-1, guys. 2 hours of postgame.
I guarantee you, Coach told the guys don't come over and help on him.
And all the action in between. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. Your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We have lost our camera out here, so you can hear us in terms of if you're watching on one of our many video streams, but for some reason our camera is not functioning currently, and I don't know why that is. I mean, Dragon Ball plugged something in, and everything goes haywire.
My apologies.
Nice going, Dragon Ball. Nice going. Cricket will be joining us in hour number 2 as well. We'll find out everything that is happening here in southern Arizona this coming weekend. We are out at the Cologuard Classic. It is the first round of this event, and it is Greg Chalmers in the lead right now out here at 7 under. We will hear from him as well this hour as Dragon Ball had a chance to go and catch up with him. First of all, I want you to hear a little bit from the executive director of the Tucson Conquistadors, Aaron Crawley, as well as Brian Godel, who is the president of Exact Sciences, who is the sponsor for this tournament out here, along with Jerry Kelly, who is the official player sponsor for the event, or player representative for this particular event. They had a chance to really talk about this event, some of the new things you're going to see out here this year, and really one of the cooler things that they've got going on out here for survivors of colorectal cancer.
The community support and outreach coming back from last year's first time here. Building off of that, I mean, the golf course is in beautiful shape. The players, in response to the new venue itself, couldn't be more excited about that. And really, Exact Sciences continued support within the community, and I think building on the last 6-7 years of just tremendous support from Exact Sciences and their becoming in the fabric of Southern Arizona and really a part of this community each and every year, and we keep building off of that. Some new stuff and exciting stuff for us this year, a little revamp to hole 17. That's that finishing par 3 hole, creating more of a stadium-like atmosphere and wrapping around that, and rebranding that as Murphy's Landing. So that's going to be a very fun and exciting part of the tournament as these tremendous professionals finish off 17 and 18 to chase that crown right there. Really looking forward to this year.
Exciting. As many of us in this room know, March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Historically, the tournament has kicked off the month, that first week of March. So, Brian, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about what's new this year that really embodies that spirit of the tournament and the mission of Exact Sciences.
Thanks, Blair. It's been amazing to see the growth over the years, and Exact Sciences is very proud to provide grants to now 17 different cancer advocacy organizations across the country to help patient survivors, loved ones, come here to Tucson to celebrate survivorship, to be together, and to be here at the tournament. And those grants are not enough to meet the demand of who wants to be here. So last year we started the Sponsor a Survivor program, where generous donors like people here in the Tucson community have contributed to help even more come. Those donations helped an additional 10 patients and survivors attend last year. And to help even more come in the future, we are very thrilled on number 15, the hole that has a fan area that we call Survivor Central, which is a very fun hole where everyone is together and watching the golf. But this year, to add a little more to it, we are starting the Birdies for Survivors initiative. So every birdie that one of these professionals makes on 15 during the tournament will donate $1,500 to sponsor a survivor. And what that really means, essentially, every time there's a birdie, a patient or a survivor will get to come to the tournament next year for free, which is pretty remarkable, and I think will. So I think it'll add to the excitement on 15 for sure.
Yeah, so Birdies for Survivors, hole 15, right in front of Survivor Central. I seem to remember, if memory serves, that you, Jerry, birdied hole 15 quite a bit last year.
We're expecting 6 on the stage.
So how did that feel? Tell us how that felt and how you think your fellow players will react to this new.
I think they do such a great job already in embracing the partnership they have with the survivors and the caregivers on their hat, which is such a huge emotional ask of the guys, and they really wrap their heads around that and get on board with it, which I appreciate more than anything. But when you get to Survivor Central and you see the sheer amount of people that this tournament has brought together, and not only brought together, but the amount of survivors that are there, hopefully because of this tournament, playing a big role in that. It makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I know exactly what hole I'm on. I know exactly what I want to do. And for last year to get 3 out of 3, that was awesome, because the cheers that came up, I mean, that's the most passionate people on the golf course right there at 15. So that meant an awful lot to me, but it also meant a lot to me because it meant a lot to them. And that's why I do it, or try to do it, is purely for you guys, because I want some smiles, I want some happiness, and know that that's what we have in all of our futures.
That's really cool. Really cool what they're doing over here at the 15th hole with every guy that gets a birdie donating money to survivors of folks who have had to deal with colorectal cancer. And that's really what this tournament is all about out here at the Cologuard Classic. Hopefully, Dragon Ball, there'll be a lot of birdies this weekend over here on number 15.
Well, they certainly seem to think that there's going to be, considering last year's results. I think that in the end, the important thing is outreach to the people who have, had to go through a number of these, issues with, Crohn's and things like that, colorectal cancer. The fact that there's a way for them to reach out and assist those people and let them not only enjoy the event, but also reach out to other people who have gone through similar, heartache, going through the treatments and things like that. That is a major, major boon to this event, and I'm happy to see that there's so many people. I mean, we've seen a lot of volunteers here as well. I mean, that's the other thing about this too, is that there are a lot of volunteers looking to help out with this event, and I'm happy to see that a lot of people are taking their time to be a part of something like this.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Let's take another look at the leaderboard here as we get down to the final stages of round one. The wind is starting to pick up here a little bit out at La Paloma. Yeah, I got to get where's my glass? It's like the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
I keep wanting to say Omni Tucson National, but La Paloma, and Greg Chalmers is still the leader out here at -7. Rod Pampling is 2 shots back at -5. There is a 3-way tie at -4. Jason Caron, Tim O'Neill, Stephen Ames all at -4. Ted Purdy had been at -4, but he has now fallen back to -2. So 2 under and tied for 11th. Large group there that includes Ernie Els, Mark Wilson, Bernard Longer in that group there tied for 11th.
Well, it looks like Ted's getting ready to go ahead, and he's finishing up on 14, getting out to 15 here. So hopefully he can go ahead and get that birdie and at least go ahead and get some of that salvage back starting on the 15th hole.
All right, it is 4:12. Is Cricket with us?
No, let me run down the hall really quick.
All right. We'll wait to get Cricket's update here.
To be fair, with all those storms and everything like
Right?
that, I'd imagine traffic is not doing too well. I mean, it's always a case of Tucsonans when the water starts falling from the skies. Some people don't know how to react to that.
There you go. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. You can call us. You can text us. Again, we have lost the camera on our video stream. We are still, though, streaming audio out to all of our video partners. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook Live, and we are on Twitch as well. So you can comment with us on any of those platforms, although currently you will not be able to see anything other than our logo up on the stream due to the fact we were doing so well. We had such a nice backdrop, and everything was going well, and we tried to maybe do one too many things, and unfortunately now we've lost our cameras. We'll see if we can get those back for you before the show is over. Obviously a lot happening in Southern Arizona. One big event happening tonight. It's the men's regional final for the Pima College Aztecs men's basketball team tonight up at the West Gym on West Anklam Road. They are trying to not only clinch a ticket to the national tournament, but they are also trying to break the school record for wins, and they'll be their final home game of the season. So get on up there tonight to West Anklam Road if you have an opportunity, and support Brian Peabody's crew, because that is one cool story here in Southern Arizona, that they have been able to go now 31-0, a 30-0 regular season. They won the regional semifinal the other night over Scottsdale, and now they are playing the regional final tonight up on West Anklam Road. And the ladies also winning in their regional semifinal game last night, so they will be playing in the regional final as well on Saturday, but they'll be on the road against Mesa. Oh ho hum, it comes down to Pima and Mesa every single year on the women's side. Nothing has changed there whatsoever. Nothing. So good luck to Todd Holdhouse and his crew as they get ready for their regional final game tomorrow. All right, we'll have Cricket coming up a little bit later in our show, and she'll tell you everything. Oh, we do have Cricket now. Cricket, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's cold time.
It is cold.
It's time. It's time for a hot blanket. That's what time.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Little chilly out here at the Cologuard Classic today, but we're having a lot of fun. We've got some more good interviews coming up, and there's a whole lot of stuff happening in Southern Arizona because it is the weekend. Woo! What's happening this weekend in Southern Arizona cricket?
Well, stop, collaborate, and listen.
Oh, stop, collaborate, and listen. I like that.
I love the 90s tour tonight with Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Tone Loc.
I've got my ticket. Now, whether or not I make it there is another question.
Oh. Well, it is tonight at the Rito Park racetrack on First Avenue. The gates opened at 4. I'm not sure what time. I couldn't find out what time the show starts.
Yeah, well, so apparently the show is starting at 4:30, but there's like Gigi and the Glow is playing first. So I don't know that maybe the main folks will probably be on until after 6.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fun. And if you don't want to collaborate and listen, you can go out tonight. Daft Punk night tonight at 9 at 191 Tool.
Wow.
You could dance the night away. Also, for families and students, a community STEM expo tomorrow, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Reed Park. And also another event, free pet adoptions at Pima Animal Care Center through March 11th. Pack open until 7 tonight, 10 to 5 this weekend. Please arrive at least 45 minutes before close, and Pack is at Silver Bell and Sweetwater.
Man, it might actually be warmer to go see Daft Punk tonight than to see Rob Bass and Vanilla Ice.
It might be warmer to go ahead and see the dogs over at Pack.
Yeah, you cuddle up with the pets.
There you go.
They got fur.
All right, cricket will be back at the 5 o'clock hour with more about what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. Right now, though, on this cold Friday, she's getting you home with your traffic and weather.
And from the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Sunday through Friday, roadwork starts Sunday night, overnights, golf links in Alvernon at the Aviation Parkway exits. Road crews will work on overhead sign work from 8 in the evening till 6 the following morning. There is a 25% chance of rain into this evening, 42 the overnight low, sunny 63 tomorrow, 75 on Sunday, and chilly 54 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying